A guy gets asked to disappear from his own apartment, not for an hour, not for an afternoon, but for an entire day and night, just so his roommate's mom never finds out he exists. For more stories just as wild are coming up, so don't go anywhere. My roommate asked me to disappear from my own home for an entire day, and honestly, my first instinct was absolutely not. Let me back up. I'm 23, living in a college apartment with 2 female roommates. We've shared this place for over a year. No drama, no tension, genuinely good dynamic. One of my roommates, I'll call her Sana, is Muslim, and her mom is pretty conservative. Like, very conservative. Conservative enough that she doesn't exactly approve of her daughter living with a guy. So when Sana told me her mom was visiting for the weekend, I could already feel where this was going. She asked me to leave. Not just step out for a few hours. Leave for the entire day, find somewhere else to sleep that night, and basically pretend I didn't exist. Vanish. So her mom could visit without ever knowing a male roommate was part of the picture. And look, I get it. Family dynamics are complicated. Cultural pressure is real. I wasn't trying to be dismissive of any of that. But I had a major assignment due that weekend. A deadline that actually mattered for my grade. And I work best at home, at my desk, with my setup. The idea of packing a bag, finding a couch to crash on, and trying to focus in someone else's space while a deadline loomed over me, that wasn't a small ask. That was a significant disruption to my life. On top of that, I pay equal rent. This is my home too. I shouldn't have to vacate it to maintain an appearance for someone I've never even met. But I didn't just say no and walk away. I tried to find a middle ground. I offered to stay in my room the entire day, door closed, completely silent, totally out of sight. I wouldn't come into the common areas, I wouldn't interact with her mom, I'd be invisible for all practical purposes. The only thing I asked was that someone bring me food at some point, or let me make a quick trip to the kitchen so I wasn't sitting in my room starving all day. I genuinely thought that was a reasonable compromise. Stay hidden, stay quiet, stay out of the way, but at least stay in my own home. Sana didn't go for it. She said her mom would freak out if she even found out a guy lived there. That it would cause real drama in her family. She needed me fully gone, not just hidden behind a door. I held my ground. I told her I understood her situation, but I wasn't going to leave my own apartment, especially not with a deadline hanging over me. And after that, things got cold. She went quiet on me, stopped engaging, and I found out she vented to our other roommate about it. Our third roommate stayed neutral, said she saw both sides, which, honestly, fair enough. I sat with it though. I kept turning it over in my head, reading through other people's perspectives, and something shifted in me. Because here's the thing I hadn't fully absorbed at first, Sana didn't exactly choose this arrangement. She'd been pushed out of her previous all-female apartment over some conflict that wasn't even really her fault. This place was her last option. She didn't plan to live with a guy. It just happened. And now she's stuck trying to manage her family's expectations around a living situation she never wanted to explain in the first place. That landed differently when I actually sat with it. One day. It's one day. I have friends. I can ask to crash somewhere for a night. My assignment can still get done, maybe not in ideal conditions, but it can get done. And if leaving for one day takes a massive weight off Sana's shoulders and keeps her family situation from spiraling, then maybe the real question isn't whether I have the right to stay. Maybe the question is whether exercising that right is actually worth what it costs someone I care about. I decided it wasn't. I'm going to reach out to a friend, figure out somewhere to stay, and let Sana have that day with her mom without the stress of hiding a secret. But I'm also going to have a real conversation with her after, because this can't become a recurring thing without us actually talking through it properly. I don't regret trying to find a compromise. But I'm glad I didn't let my pride win over my empathy. So here's what I want to know. If someone you genuinely cared about asked you to make a real sacrifice just to protect their peace, where do you draw the line? This next one had me fuming. My husband and I live abroad, and earlier this year a mutual acquaintance, I'll call him K, got scammed on an apartment and needed a place to crash. We offered a weekend. He was polite, helped around the house, seemed grateful, so we let him stay the full 20 days he asked for. There were warning signs. He never bought groceries once. He'd pretend to reach for his wallet and then conveniently forget it. He once let my husband and I split half a pizza while he finished a pizza and a half by himself without contributing a single thing. We let it go. We felt bad for the guy. A few months later we had a 17-day trip planned. He was struggling with rent, so we offered him a free place to stay in exchange for watching our dog. I even wrote a full Google Doc, house instructions, dog care, everything. I told him he could eat anything about to expire. We came home to bare walls. The entire fridge. The entire freezer. The entire pantry. 2 jars of jam, peanut butter, a giant bottle of olive oil, rice, cheese, my husband's supplements, gone. He destroyed a ceramic pan too. 6 months of groceries, consumed in 2 weeks. When I asked him to replace the pan, he laughed at me. Said I was making it a big deal. Now he texts like nothing happened. My husband thinks I'm being too harsh by banning him from our home forever. Am I? Tell me in the comments, where exactly would you have drawn the line with this guy? Here's one more that deserves your attention. An 11-year-old girl asked her mom for one thing on her birthday. A little trip. Just the 2 of them. Her mom blew it up into a whole drama about exclusion, refused to do it, and then didn't plan anything else for her birthday either. So I took my niece myself. Simple. Then her brother's birthday rolls around. He wants a family trip to Mexico. Fine. Except he specifically wants my niece left out. And her parents agreed. Their logic? She wanted a trip without them once, so now they get one without her. She's 11. She was devastated. They asked me to watch her for 10 days. I said sure. But I also happened to have work in Miami and New York that week. So I took her with me. We hit the beach in Florida, spent a day at Disney World, caught 2 Broadway shows in New York, flew home in first class. She had the time of her life. Her parents came back furious. Said I spoiled her. Said I undermined them. Now they're telling family I took their kid across the country without permission because I was mad she got punished. She didn't get punished for being rude. She got excluded from a family vacation for asking for one-on-one time with her mom at 11 years old. So tell me, did I cross a line, or did her parents? This next one genuinely hurt to read. I brought back a yixing teapot from China. These are unglazed clay pots that get seasoned over time, like a cast iron pan. The more tea you brew in it, the better it gets. The one rule, the only rule, is never use soap or abrasive sponges. Just hot water. That's it. I paid a friend to watch my cat while I was away for work. I told her she could use anything in the kitchen. The teapot wasn't in the kitchen. It was behind glass, with my good loose leaf teas, nowhere near the guest kettle I leave out specifically for visitors. I came home and found it sitting in the sink. Smelling like dish soap. Scratched up inside from a wire sponge. She told me she used it because she loved my tea. Then she scrubbed it with a wire sponge because she couldn't find my regular sponges and didn't want to risk the dishwasher. Like that was the safer option. It's ruined. Everything brewed in it now tastes like soap, and the scratches get worse with every boil. I found a replacement from the same store, actually cheaper than what I originally paid, and sent her the link. $500. She lost her mind. Said I should have warned her. It was behind glass. I didn't think I needed to. So tell me, should she pay, or was this just an honest mistake? Here's one that made me think twice. My best friend called me a bad friend for being honest, and honestly, I'm still not sure how to feel about it. He proposed to his girlfriend. I was thrilled. He even had it on video. But the second that video started, my stomach dropped. They were at a gym. She was on a machine. Mid-workout. Sweaty. He just walked up and popped the question right there. And you could see it on her face. She said yes, but the happiness lasted maybe 2 minutes. After that it was this strange smile she couldn't quite hold. It was painful to watch. Then he comes to me frustrated because she admitted she wasn't happy with the proposal. He asked me straight up, how would I feel if someone proposed to me at the gym? I think he wanted backup. What he got was honesty. I told him I would hate it. I wouldn't want to be sweaty and exhausted for the moment I'd tell my kids about for the rest of my life. I told him I understood why she was disappointed. He called me shallow. Said I was a bad friend. But here's the thing, he asked me. She didn't have my permission to be put in that situation either. I don't think I'm the bad guy here, but I want to know what you think. Was I wrong for being honest, or did he just not like the answer? So now you know the whole story. Who do you think was in the wrong here? Drop your verdict in the comments below. And if you want more stories like this, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps more than you know.